It's a terrible story that just keeps getting worse. It's just awful. And folks, we've got more on that story to share with you. It is Sunday, December 4th, 2016. I'm meteorologist Reynolds Wolf.
And I'm meteorologist Jaqui Jeras. I'm in this morning for Kelly Cass. We've got a very busy morning ahead for you. We'll have more on that tragedy in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in just a few minutes. But first, we want to focus on the extremely cold weather that's moving in. And ahead of that, a very Charlotte for most of the day as well. Both places are going to be getting colder as we head towards the end of the week. Of course, Duluth probably a little quicker
Absolutely.
than Charlotte.
I know some of you are out there thinking maybe you're in northern Wisconsin. Hey, so when's winter going to get here? There it is, guys.
Here you
it's
go.
Here. Yeah, I mean, instant gratification. One thing that's good about this, Jackie, I think the highest amounts we may see, maybe around 5 inches or so, but for the most place, generally less. If you're from this region, you can handle this. You got it.
Right, not quite snowmobiling weather,
there you
but
go.
You know, it'll be enough to be a nuisance on the roadways, and of course, a lot of rain is going to cause some travel problems across parts of the Gulf Coast. Again, those flood problems we've had in Galveston and Houston.
Yeah, we were getting briefed by Sam Freeman earlier this morning. I guess records for in Galveston.
More than 7 inches in 24 hours.
There
Incredible.
You go. And
thunderstorms thrown into the mix. The main threat's going to be damaging winds, but we can't rule out the possibility of isolated tornadoes as well. So let's focus in on New Orleans. Today we will see some showers and thunderstorms, but severe weather more likely, especially in the afternoon, possibly into the early evening hours on your Monday. Take a look at the forecast. Notice temperature is a little cooler than you have been. We're going to have a lot of overcast conditions and expecting to see showers and thunderstorms, especially late in the day. So Reynolds was showing you the big setup with the cyclogenesis that's going to be taking place as low pressure develops, and we're going to have a lot of moisture just pumping in from the Gulf of Mexico. Combine that with some wind shear, so winds moving in different directions at different levels in the atmosphere, and that's going to kind of help spell the recipe. Our instability is a little bit on the borderline for this, but we do think damaging winds is going to be a good possibility. So not just you in New Orleans, but also from Jackson, Mississippi to Montgomery, Alabama, Pensacola over towards Panama City, even Tallahassee could see some strong to severe thunderstorms on your Monday. And as we take a look at Torcon, we're looking at a number 3 there for you for central Mississippi. Also a 3 expected for central and southern Alabama, as well as the Florida Panhandle. We do think that we could see some in Jackson throughout the Monday, maybe into early Tuesday morning. So be aware that this could happen after dark into the nighttime hours. And into Tuesday, the focus will be in central Florida, stretching up into the Carolinas. Reynolds?
All right, Jackie, thanks so much. We go from
reaching near the 50-degree mark, and you'll get plenty of sunshine. So let's focus in on some of the coldest cities in the nation over the next couple of days. The blast of cold will be moving into Minneapolis by your Tuesday. So today we're talking mid-30s. Tomorrow, probably going to get into the mid-40s, Minneapolis. But look at this, 20s by your Tuesday, 20 at best as you head into Wednesday. And check out the overnight lows. We're talking teens are going to be on the way. So this blast of Arctic air coming in from the north with our big trough in the jet stream, allowing that to invade the lower 48 and continue to be on the move through the middle of the week. This is the coldest air of the season we've seen by far. We're talking about temperatures in the single digits in the Dakotas, 28 degrees in Minneapolis on Tuesday. Des Moines, Iowa, you're going to be very cold as well, 25 for a high as you head into Wednesday, and it's the overnight lows that are really going to be pretty brutal. Bismarck, take a look at this as we head into your Wednesday midday. It's only going to take about 20 minutes to get hypothermia or frostbite because of the bitter cold wind chills. Well, I know they're annoying and they can cost you hundreds of dollars in repairs, right? And they happen a lot this time of the year. We're talking about potholes. Meteorologist Mark Elliott explains how the weather turns a small crack into a major crater. That's going to come late, probably later on tonight, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of accumulation. Should stick around to an inch or less, but as we take a look at the forecast, you head into your Monday, temperatures begin to warm up by 9-10 o'clock, and you're going to see a little rain beginning to mix in. So kind of borderline, some slick roads by tomorrow morning. Keep that in mind for the commute. Monday night, clearing skies, temperatures drop back below the freezing mark. So here's what we're expecting with this quick shot of snow that's moving in across parts of the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and well into the Northeast. Accumulation's not going to be that big of a deal. Let's put this map in motion for you and time it out for you. Here we are tonight, 11 o'clock, moves into western New York, into central parts of Pennsylvania. Just rain for you in places like New York City, down towards Washington, D.C., though we've got to keep an eye out for a little bit of sleet potentially mixing in there. Snowfall from Albany over towards Boston into western Massachusetts. That's where we could see some bigger totals. And notice how this all kind of fades away as we head into Monday night before the next round begins to roll on in. So how much snow are we talking about? This is really not anything you can't handle. For the most part, we're talking 1 to 3 inches. Few spots, mainly with elevation, could be reaching the 3 to 5 inch range. We'll take a look at Portland, Maine. Certainly no stranger to snow, and you're going to be getting a little bit of that tomorrow morning. The most of the commute dry, so try and get where you need to be by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll start to see some of that snow begin to push on in. Well, it's that time of the year that it can be dangerous, and there are things that you want to always keep in mind when you're traveling. Meteorologist Mark Elliott has some tips to help keep you from getting stranded in the winter. Let's talk more about Mississippi, shall we? And in northern parts of the state, the same story. In Oxford, rain, rain, and more rain. We've got a live picture here showing you the campus at Ole Miss. Oxford's going to stay wet right through the middle of the week. And you need to get it, though, actually. We've got extreme drought conditions across much of the southeast, including northern Mississippi. You've got a deficit now about 7 to 8 inches for 2016. So rain along with thunderstorms. I know might have been rolling you out of bed a little bit early today. And temperatures will be a bit on the cool side near the 60-degree mark. Here's the setup as low pressure develops. It's going to be coming in and developing along that frontal system along with the upper level low. And the moisture is just going to be pumping in from the Gulf of Mexico. It's like a big fat wet sponge, and you just need a little disturbance to kind of help wring that sponge out. And that's what's going to be happening today. With the winds coming in at different directions at different levels of the atmosphere, that's going to provide a little wind shear. So while we're primarily looking at wind damage as being the big threat as we head into your Monday and into your Tuesday, we can't rule out some isolated tornadoes. So New Orleans over towards Biloxi into Jackson, Mississippi, Panhandle of Florida all has the risk. Torcon of 3 in both of these locations. So looking at this spreading over towards Florida, even into Tallahassee could have that threat of severe weather. Here's a look at Montgomery, Alabama. Notice just the cloudy conditions through 11 o'clock on your Monday, and then in the afternoon and early evening hours, we'll see the showers and thunderstorms. And then on Tuesday, we'll watch that focus begin to spread up into the Carolinas. That's going to include you in Charlotte, extending towards the Outer Banks as well. Well, coming up on AM, conditions are on the way to Rapid City in the Dakotas. In fact, a huge change. The coldest weather that you've seen so far this season. Take a look. Rapid City. This is Wednesday. We're going to fast forward. We think this will be the coldest day so far. The temperature, 12 degrees. Winds, gusty at times. So you put those two things together, the temperature your body is going to feel about 5, 6 degrees below zero. That means you can get wind chill or frostbite. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. In about 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes in a few spots. So that big trough in the upper atmosphere is going to allow for the Arctic invasion, we'll call it. And this is going to be spreading its way all the way across the country. And I think you're going to be feeling it the most across parts of the upper Midwest with below average temperatures. And it's certainly going to be a little bit of a shock to the system, I think, after you've been experiencing a very mild fall. So Bismarck, 8 degrees, 34 in North Platte, Des Moines, 35. This is on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the real cold begins to settle on in. High temperatures, lucky to make it out of the teens in Minneapolis. Chicago, looking for a high around 29 degrees. And look at this. The morning temperatures are going to be very cold as well. And when you add in that wind, the temperature your body feels even colder. So the goose egg for you in Bismarck. In fact, I would not be surprised in the early morning hours on your Wednesday to see some locations seeing sub-zero readings for sure, and that could be the case on Thursday as well. There you go. There you see it. Rapid City, -1 expected on your Thursday morning. Low teens for you in Des Moines. So Minneapolis, let's take a look at that. Your coldest day so far had a high of 30 degrees. We'll say goodbye to that. Your coldest day so far could be in the teens, actually, a few of those days. We'll see that on Wednesday. Another shot at it on Friday with those overnight temperatures certainly in the teens, and a few spots, especially in the suburbs, probably going to be down in the single digits as well. We'll take a look at Cincinnati. Wednesday, 42 degrees. Not too shabby, but we're going to dip down to around the freezing mark for a high. As you head into your Thursday and Friday, you'll be down there into the 20s. So hopefully you've got the winter gear ready, because a lot of us haven't had to deal with that just yet.